Hey guys, so it's time to do a quick little comparison here between the iPhone XS and the new Sony Xperia XZ3. Sony's latest beast of a flagship versus Apple's latest handset. Yes, it's not the biggest iPhone that you can get at the moment, but I think a grand is the max amount I want to spend on a phone in 2018. So we're just going to check out the XS here. For the speed and camera performance. You can get the Sony for about €300 less, so it represents excellent value for money, coming with an arguably more interesting design as well. Fully curved display here, Oled Bravia technology, which looks absolutely fantastic compared to, for example, Samsung's handsets, as well as the XS here, which we will see when opening up some apps. So we can just have a look here at the raw speed. Snapdragon 845 in the new XZ3 versus your Apple A12. Let's go. So obviously this is cross-platform as well, so Android, the latest Android 9 versus iOS 12. And you can already see straight away here the XZ3 seems to be really fast, but then Apple's come back here for one, so 2-1. What else do we have? We have Unidays, and look how luscious that display is on the Sony with the colours here, much deeper overall. Maybe we can just do some colour check. You can see, my god, that is a huge difference. I don't know what Sony's done there, but that is pretty incredible. So that I think came up on the Sony as well. This one. So you can see really leaving Apple standing here when it comes to the apps opening. Let's try some basic ones. So we have the music. How's Walkman nowadays? Do they still call it Walkman? I don't think they do. It's just called music. Seems to be pretty snappy. Your camera as well. Comparable for the inbuilt apps. I don't think there's too much in the way of differences there. So very nice performance though on the Sony. I think considering the raw benchmark of the iPhone here, you can see it's really leaving it standing on many apps, and the screen looks way better. I don't know if the iPhone Max edition comes with a better screen, but this one I think definitely you can see they have made some amazing gains over Apple. Let's have a look at the speed test. So we're just going to start with Sony here, and I think the XS are going to be very strong with this particular one. So just make sure it's on the right server. There we go. Now everything's not all rosy with the latest Sony. After having it for a couple of days, I have noticed some minor annoyances with the phone, such as the fingerprint scanner, which I initially praised at first, but it's not actually a very natural place where it is. It's a bit too far down. If they move the camera sensor, let's say up here, and then put the fingerprint scanner about there, then it would have been perfect. But I think it is a little bit low down, and also it does slide around a little bit on the table, as you can see. So, you know, minor niggles here, not huge problems, but I do want to be fair with the device. Everything else seems to be the best that Sony's done so far yet. Putting it back on the mat. But you can see the Wi-Fi here, I think is going to go to Apple. I've got the door shut, so it's a little bit difficult for them to penetrate the walls. And you can see we'll give Sony another shot here. I think Sony's coming with the bigger battery, but the actual runtime is a little bit average compared to like your Note 9, OnePlus 6 kind of levels, so they could probably put a bigger one for the next one. And Sony's gone higher here for the Wi-Fi, so it's going to be a little bit back and forth, I think. We'll give the Apple one last shot. What else? So we do have proper kind of full waterproofing, dust proofing on both of them. You don't get a fast charger though when you do buy the €1,000 iPhone, whereas I think Sony does bundle that in the box, so that is quite nice. You do get also I think removable storage with the XZ3. Let's just double check that. They do usually give us removable storage on the latest Sony handsets, as far as I remember, but you know, sometimes they take these things away. I think Sony is the victor when it comes to the Wi-Fi speed, which is good. Yeah, so you can expand the micro SD up to 512 gigabyte. So that is pretty nice. I think it has to be the dual SIM model though. You don't get that on, I don't think, the iPhone, but you do get 512 gig iPhone if you want to spend that much. Just have a look at the camera here. I'm not going to check out the multitasking because it's different platforms. In fact, I am going to check out the multitasking a little bit. I have turned the smart cleaner off, which I think affected it a little bit in the first video. So we can see here if we can see any differences, and open up another one. So you can see nice and fast here. But a little bit reloady still. Let's just double check the smart cleaner is definitely off. Hopefully it doesn't turn itself back on every time you turn it on. So somewhere in here, smart cleaner. I've been begging Sony to get rid of it because I always forget to turn it off. But you can see it's definitely off here now. So I wouldn't expect there to be any real reloading. Might have to open up a few more apps in another video. But you can see it looks a little bit more stable already, but just look at the display comparison, man. That is just a huge difference. And here I was thinking Apple had the best OLEDs. So what else? The camera, that is another interesting area. How do they do compare? And I'd say that in general it's quite like before in regards to Apple giving you more realistic images, probably being a little bit more reliable with the focusing. Let's just put the auto rotate on. There we go. But Sony coming with the slightly more poppy kind of colours, making it a little bit more interesting really. But both of them will do you fine in terms of the good light. In terms of the low light, again, quite comparable here. I think Sony's improved over the recent years. So you can see the video again, very nice and smooth on the iPhone. Does support the 4K at 60 frames per second. Probably would hand it to the iPhone for the video, simply because of that. and the fact that I'm still a bit sore about the HDR video being very slow on the Sony. Hopefully they'll fix that with an update. I think it'll look fantastic if they do. But you know, both of them very nice here. I'd probably still give the colours to the Sony. If you like your very poppy kind of colours and deeply saturated images. So yeah, just a quick little comparison here between the iPhone XS and the Sony Xperia XZ. I still think the XZ3 is an amazing value for money handset right now. When you consider like every phone is coming in at about $1,000. It definitely has some areas where it could improve for the next iteration though. But I think, as I said, it's very solid in comparison here. I will be doing some other videos checking out some of the gaming, etc. So do stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.